All right, it's Friday night, and if it's Friday night, it means it's not Thursday night. But it does mean that we have a FusionCast. I'm your host, Fusion64, along with me every week for 32 weeks straight, Rebel Blood 80. What's up, buddy?
What's happening, man?
How you doing?
I'm getting my ass kicked in Saturday Night Slam Masters.
Are you excited about this week's news in gaming? This week's hot topics?
Sure. What news, though?
No, there wasn't a lot of news.
There
But
was
there was
not
a
a lot.
lot of games being played this week, and a lot of one game being played this week.
Cyberpunk?
Cybertruck. No, Spider-Mans. We've been playing the Spider-Mans.
You have. I have not.
I have been, yes, definitely. We'll get to that in a second. We have some news about Bungie to talk about. Bungie and Sony, and things going on at Sony. Layoffs going on at Bungie. A lot of different things. Some possible God of War DLC to talk about. I know
I did
you're a
not see
fan
that,
of God
so-
of War, right?
I am interested in hearing about this God of War DLC.
Are you any other news you got to talk about this week?
Yeah, there's something going on with Nintendo I think we could bring up.
Okay, why don't you want to start? You want to get you to do a little icebreaker and break the ice?
Oh, I smashed
Or
the
you're not
ice.
or you're not ready.
No, there's nothing really here. It's just patents came out and
For the
people are speculating the Switch 2 is going to have 2 to 3 screens, and I just don't see that as possible. I see it's just Nintendo doing more patents like Nintendo usually does.
Right, I feel like this got out, so it probably means like it's not happening. It's just something like
Well,
that they want to patent, though, right?
they can't hide a patent, right?
Well, no, but yeah,
But they're always filing patents.
right, sure. I think
So it's not a leak.
yeah, I highly doubt that they're going back to dual screen, but they want to patent it. I mean, sure, there's probably something that's up for their patent. I mean, I don't know. Do they have the dual screen patent before? Is this a renewal or just
No, I think the patent's more like the screens disconnect and still communicate with each other.
okay?
But if we're talking about what the system's planning to do, right, which is to play more modern games that the Switch is losing out on, which is what people are mainly talking about, like, oh, it's got DLSS and it has ray tracing. It's not going to be a dual screen system. The chip that they're putting in there won't be able to handle that and do dual screens, let alone 3 screens, but I don't think it's really 3 screens. I think what people think is the third screen. You remember on your PlayStation Vita, that little back touchpad?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah,
I bet you what people are thinking is a third screen in that is one of those.
right.
And the only game I could think of that used it was that Tearaway game, which was kind of cool.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a similar trackpad as on the PlayStation 5 controller in the middle. That little extra trackpad button on there. What the hell is that thing called?
I think it is the trackpad. It's mostly the
I never
select.
really
It's
thought about
mostly the select button, basically,
Or hold it down
or
for
map.
map button.
Map, yeah, it's a map button. Yeah, why did we go away from start and select? Remember, Xbox went to the 3 lines, and then the hamburger button, and then the Windows button, and then PlayStation went with options, and yeah,
It makes sense for all the other companies to go with something themselves so they're not using Nintendo terminology, but why did Nintendo leave Start and Select behind? That
Yeah,
Start and Select was Nintendo.
plus and minus, yeah,
Yeah, to plus and minus.
right.
Though the little buttons are cute on the Switch for the plus and minus.
They are, yeah, sure.
But I'd rather have Start and Select. It's easier to tell somebody to hit Start on a controller.
Right, then hamburger, then 3 lines. Hit the 3 lines button.
Yeah, hit the 3-line button, hit the Windows button.
The 3 lines is the
with
hamburger button, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the 3 lines
Okay.
is the hamburger button.
Okay.
Hit the Windows button. What's the Windows button?
Yeah, I don't.
It would be the
I don't see a dual screen thing for them. Like you said, it's probably just like I bet you there might be like a backtrack, like the trackpad or something like that on this thing. You never, more than likely, they got to throw some kind of gimmick in there.
something to make it differentiate from the Switch 1, right?
Yeah.
Some reason that you have to go out and buy it other than being able to play Cyberpunk and Modern Warfare 3 on the system.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. The idea of it's kind of cool, but they're not going to do their own dedicated portable system again. There's not going to be another 3DS.
No, I mean the DS was cool, like to use that bottom screen for like maps and like your menu is already up, like if you like Zelda, all your different weapons are on there, but like it's really not necessary.
There were some cool games that used the stylus on there, but I hated it. Mainly because what I played on there mostly was the Castlevania games, and you had to do that in order to fight a boss. You had to do like a I'm doing the motion here in the air. You cannot see me. But
No, I cannot.
You had to like draw a symbol on the screen, and it wasn't always accurate, and you had to do it relatively quick. And if you didn't do it, you'd have to do it again and again and again until you got it right. And that was kind of annoying.
What if, see, now on the Switch they had all of these Wii U remasters that were very successful. What if they're thinking is like, okay, we make this thing dual screen and we can remaster all these 3DS games in HD and be very successful? That is some Nintendo-ass thinking.
Yeah.
But I still don't think that's going to happen, though.
No, I don't think it's going to happen either. It would be cool. I just don't see the system being competitive with the Series X and PS5 then, though, if it does. Not that they have to compete with them, but you want to see these newer games on there, right?
Yeah, totally.
Because you could play them on any one of these handheld Windows devices coming out, whether it's a Steam Deck or the Legion that dropped, I believe, today, or it dropped this week.
Yeah, I've have you read any reviews on it? You know what? You can't even really trust reviews of these people that got them super early because everybody was saying how great the ROG Ally was. But like, it turns out that people like that is such a high return rate. I've seen so many stories of online of people going to buy it in Best Buy, and like the workers telling them not to buy it because it's just been a ton of people returning it with defects.
Yeah, what I've seen has been positive, more positive than the ROG Ally. But again, like you said, how can you trust these people? It's the same people that were saying the ROG Ally was awesome,
right?
Are now saying this thing is awesome.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I've still seen a lot of people say that like it's not for a handheld experience. The Windows is, using Windows is not great.
I was just having a conversation with my cousin about it just this very day. I think I sent him a link to the video, and I was like, you know what? I don't care how many of these they release or how good these people say it is. Steam OS still puts it above the bar of all these other machines just because the OS is there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I bet you I know there is technical issues with the ROG Ally, but I bet you a lot of those returns are people like getting it and be like, oh man, this is awful. And thinking they're getting a console like experience, they're going to get that, and then it's just not what they're going to get.
You can get a console like experience, but you'd have to work at it, right? Because they sell.
Right.
I mean, they sell it's really expensive, but you could buy its own dedicated GPU to attach to that ROG Ally. I forgot how much it's up there in the thousands. I want to say it was like 15,000 or 1,500 for this expansion GPU to add on the thing to make it more like a desktop CPU. But at that point, why don't you just build a computer?
Right.
I don't know. The Lenovo one's kind of cool looking though, because it does have the detachable controllers like the Switch.
You gotta wait to see how these things when actually they're tested out in the wild to see,
I want to see people that go out and buy it themselves
100%.
that aren't given a review copy.
Yeah, you just can't trust the shit anymore.
No, not at all.
I played with it for like 3 days and I wrote a review and it's great.
We could go back to the PlayStation and Xbox when those released. People were getting those early, and they were like, "Oh, it's awesome!"
Yeah,
for both systems. And yeah, actually, both systems are actually pretty good. for once.
You're right.
They're very comparable to each other, and I haven't really seen any like red rings of death or anything, any news like that on these systems. So
No.
yeah, for once, both systems are actually pretty decent. But yeah, even back then, it was like, oh, this is the best system, and they were just given units and told what to say. Basically, you can't, like you said, you can't trust anybody.
Nope. So,
But
Bungie. Have you heard about Bungie? This studio Bungie.
oh, the downfall of Sony, as I'm calling it.
uh,
They're coming in and they're throwing their weight around.
yeah. I mean, yeah,
We know games as a service. Look at
right.
Destiny 2. We know games as a service. Do what we say.
You know what? So yeah,
Get rid. Fire that old lady. She doesn't know what she's doing. And you, Sony CEO, you need to retire too, because Bungie's here to take over, even though you bought us.
the funny thing is, yeah. So, what they laid off? Like, it's not funny. They laid off 8% of their people. I forgot how many exactly it was, but 8% is a high amount. Feel like it was like 100 people or something like that. But
You
it
know,
was a
it's
lot.
not that unusual in gaming for layoffs to happen like that, but that's after a game has shipped. But they haven't made a new game.
No.
Well, they made that expansion.
The expansions that got delayed. I don't think it's not been official, but Bloomberg is reporting it's delayed, and then Marathon is delayed until 2025. But so the reason why they got all these firings is because they missed their revenue targets by 45%. So
Yeah.
you know
So Bungie doesn't know what they're doing.
How well, if you're not at Naughty Dog, how do you feel that like they came in and shut your game down because they're the live service experts, yet their revenue is down 45%, and they have to lay off 8% of their workforce?
Yeah. My point is we typically see layoffs.
Sure, when a game ships, yeah,
are
because there's nothing
done
else to
and
do.
shipped,
Yeah,
and this is abnormal because
this is a live
they
service
haven't shipped
continuing
anything.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's signs of something seriously wrong over at Bungie, I would say.
So a lot of
I'm assuming.
what's shitty too is some of these people that they laid off, like they laid off their composer who's been there forever, and when they signed the deal with Sony, they basically, some of these people were really close to getting their stocks vetted or whatever. Regardless, they missed out on a huge payout. A lot of these people from that from the purchase from Sony, and so it's really shitty.
Yeah, it is.
Like if they would have, it was literally like within like a month they would have gotten like a huge payout from their. I'm not a financial analyst, but their stocks being vetted or whatever from their being from them being there for so long or whatever. And it was a really shitty move.
Some serious mismanagement going on over at Bungie.
And you know what is the funny part is that, like, you know, people railed on when Bungie was with Activision. They railed on Activision because Activision wanted them to put out, you know, more boxed copies of Destiny 2, and they wanted to continue Destiny, blah, 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 blah. And I think that the answer lies somewhere in the middle right there. Like, yeah, it was smart to keep Destiny as this live service game and continue it a lot longer, but eventually you need to put out a game like that. You need to put out a new, when I say boxed copy, I mean a Destiny 3, because that game is like, for like me, people like me and you, and I've had 500 hours in the first Destiny, and I probably 200 in Destiny 2, but like that game is like almost impenetrable for me to return to. I tried it, and it's just like I just can't. There's too much like going. I don't know what's going on. It's just hard for new people to get in, and you could easily draw new players if you put out a Destiny 3.
I agree. I want to say Destiny 1 is better than Destiny 2 now just because of that. And I have not gone back to Destiny 1, but I remember being able to play Destiny 1 and know what I was doing. And then 2 came out and it felt bigger and better at first. And now it's just a mess.
But
It's a nightmare.
they added a lot of like quality of life features that uh, helped you figure out what to do next. But there's so many different like currencies, and they've had so much content they vaulted and unvaulted, and you're not getting the whole story of it. That like it's just so hard to get into that like they needed a refresh, and they obviously thought that they knew better, and I don't know. And I've actually heard from like seeing a lot of people talk that it's a microtransaction hellscape on there now basically. And you remember how Activision got blamed for all that shit too?
Yeah, and as soon as they left Activision, they were like, "Look at us! Look at what we're awesome!" And when they left Activision, that's when I went back and I played a little bit, and I forgot which expansion came out then, but I had a little bit of a good time. And then we're like 5 expansions after that, and it's a microtransaction nightmare of a mess, and I'm never going back to it.
Yeah, I mean, Activision got blamed for a lot of shit, but it turns out a lot of this stuff was on Bungie, really.
Yeah,
They made
yeah.
promises that they wouldn't monetize certain stuff that they went back on, and guns were high guns were getting.
Xbox dodged a bullet letting them go.
Yeah, this is where like you've got, and Sony made a mistake, I think, of buying them, but not buying the overseeing them, because they're like basically adjacent with PlayStation kind of.
Yeah, I personally think Sony paid way too much for them.
Well, I mean, a lot of I think like $1.5 million of that was like to retain the talent, basically.
Which they just laid off.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah, right. Yeah, totally. So.
Yeah, somebody there's lining their pockets. And would you even play a Destiny 3?
Oh, 100% I would. 100%.
See, I'm teeter-tottering.
No, 100%. I'd be in day one. Because, I mean, I could start over with all these new people that are starting over, whereas, you're jumping into Destiny 2, and I don't know if you remember, like, people would want, if you want to run a raid with people, they'd want you to have certain guns, this type of gun, that type of gun, and, like you're going with people that have been playing for years, and they've got all these different weapons and gear, and, a fresh start, I would be 100% in.
Yeah, I probably would be too.
Even just to try it. Like, but there's no way you're getting me to try these new expansions. It's just not.
Because the shooting still feels good in Destiny 2.
Yeah,
even though
totally.
the rest of it sucks. Even though you don't know why you're shooting the things you're shooting, because you don't know what the hell's going on.
Right, because there would have to be a better onboarding experience. Explain, okay, this is this is that, this is this is that. Now, but you're walking in the middle of a product that's been, when did Destiny 2 come out? 2016? 2017?
That's a good question, sir. It's been a super long time.
So, I mean, that stuff's not really there.
I think it was the last time I called off work.
You're walking in and you're like light level of like 1,500 or something like that. Whoa, what's going on? What's this level? What's that? And yeah, so.
Oh, you know what? Games as a Service needs to get rid of that. Need to get rid of that shit. Period. I can't stand that shit. You need power level 800 to proceed. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not going to grind to that.
That kind of stuff, that you don't need a Fortnite 2, because it's basically, it's just a multiplayer game. There's no levels. There's a rotating battle pass level, but that's every 2 months. There's no relearning stuff. It's very simple. A game like this, I feel like every once in a while you need a refresh to bring in new players.
Even Fortnite did a refresh when they destroyed the island and made the new island.
And even, did you see today they went, it's now the season's Fortnite OG, and they went back to the Chapter 1 map, which it's not the first map, but it's like one of the first maps. And they just broke their record for concurrent players at 5.8 million concurrent players today.
Damn.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's
a fucking lot of players. Yeah. Like they broke it at like 3 million was like their I believe their record, which they achieved, and I checked later and it was up to 5.8. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, you can't just keep adding and adding and adding shit. I mean, look at World of Warcraft, even that game is losing steam because they just keep adding expansion after expansion after expansion.
Right.
At some point, you just need to axe it and make number 2 or
Right.
number 3.
And that's there were rumors this week that I don't know how credible they were, that like the new management possibly is going to try and pivot away from their games as a service pivot that they were pivoting to, and that supposedly that they're next year, in the following year or two, that they're working with companies in order to fill the gaps because they pivoted so hard into the games as a service, that might be a content drought, so that they're going to be partnering possibly with Sega and Bandai Namco to fill in gaps for the
Well, that's
following
okay.
year or
We're going to
two.
have Suicide Squad. Oh wait, that's a games as a service too.
I'm
Damn.
actually interested in that game.
I am too because they delayed it for so long. I wish we had the game they were trying to release with the game that they're bringing to us in February?
You know what? I'm fine if it's like an Outriders type game as a service. They've said, didn't they say that like it wasn't a live service game, or did they say that? Am I hearing things?
They said it wasn't, and then it started looking like it was, and that's when they brought it back to.
People got,
because it was supposed to come out, and people were saying, "No, that looks like a live service game," and then
because it looked, how like Outriders, it looked like freaking Destiny and Outriders, because it showed those like the power levels and like the gear and stuff that you're equipping.
Exactly,
but that doesn't
and then that's
necessarily mean that it's, because Outriders wasn't a live service game. They had one expansion, right? Am I correct in that?
They had one expansion. It felt like
and no monetization.
Games as a service. No, but
no, just because you're just a
was...
looter shooter doesn't mean you're games as a service, though.
No, but I think they were trying to make it into one of those. I think it was one of those bait and switch where it releases without monetization, and then suddenly a year in it will have monetization.
Yeah.
But I don't think Outriders did well enough for Square Enix to be okay with that.
Yeah. But I mean, I think people might have jumped the gun on Suicide Squad. I'm really excited. It's still optimistic about that game.
Well, the problem is they made the Batman games, right? And then they came out with that video where this game had power levels and it just looked like a looter shooter, and it wasn't
right.
Fucking
Batman. Well, yeah. The problem is we haven't had a Batman game since 2014, and that's
we have.
I would say
Ubisoft has been making them, but it's not the same. We need a Batman game.
That's the problem, is that we've not had a Batman game in 10 years, and people are pissed off. So they're taking it out on this. They're taking it out on Gotham Knights, the fake Batman game. So,
oh yeah, that game was bad. I own that game. I've beaten that game. It was a bad game.
It's not good.
It's okay. That's the problem. You can't have an okay Batman game.
But yeah,
where you don't even play as Batman.
Yeah, right? Yeah, totally.
Speaking of which, there was DLC for that, so there's more achievements I need to get in that. Actually, 100% of that. I got all the achievements for the release version of the game. Now I'm missing like 6 achievements.
Those are the only games you beat are the games that you dislike.
Probably.
I don't understand you.
Because I still haven't beaten Cyberpunk, and I'm in love with that game.
You haven't beaten Cyberpunk, you didn't beat Zelda, you didn't beat Final Fantasy 16, but you beat fucking Gotham Knights.
I'll tell you why. I'm going to tell you right here, right now, why. It's because I don't want the good games to end.
Okay, I'll buy that. Like, just get over with this bad game. I just want to beat it and get over with it, even if it takes me 80 hours. I've thought about buying Gotham Knights, but I mean, if that game was 60 frames, I would buy it.
It's going to be a PS Plus game in the future.
Yeah,
you know it is.
Right. Yeah, because it was probably. Oh no, actually, I think it sold actually well. I think, but I mean, it's a cheap disc. It was like $20-something I think this week on sale.
They're going to give it away eventually.
Just because I'm itching to play one of those freaking games. I think it's one of the higher tier PS Plus games.
You should get Outriders. I'll play that with you. That's got
I own Outriders.
Cross-system support. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Then we should play it.
Okay. I'll have to download that this month.
Fit in the stream or something, because
maybe I'll play it. I'll play it on my Portal while you play it on whatever platform you're playing on.
I own it on 2
That'll
platforms.
be a good PS Portal game.
I wonder if it's Steam Deck compatible. I'm gonna check that out real quick. I do not own the DLC for it though. Well, I own the DLC on Xbox, but not on Steam.
Gotcha.
I
Uh,
don't have it installed. That's why it's not showing up.
yeah, I don't know, man. It's too early to tell. Yeah, there was also rumors that like people, Bungie invited some Tarkov streamers to check out an early build of Marathon, and they supposedly did not like it. So
I'm thinking I should buy that Xbox 360 backwards compatible version of Marathon because we might never
get a real Marathon.
see a playable version of Marathon.
And supposedly they were working on another game called Matter, and supposedly that game was canceled. So
Just make Destiny 3. That's what people really want.
right, yes, that is what people want.
Nobody knows what Marathon is. I know what Marathon is.
I know
You might know
the
what Marathon
name
is.
of Marathon is. That's all I know. I've never seen it.
People know what Marathon is because of YouTube videos saying, "Oh, there's Marathon's a prequel to Halo."
Right? Yeah. Totally. So
I actually played Marathon, and it's Doom. It feels like Doom to me. Old school Doom.
solid. Anything else on Bungie and Sony?
Just that Bungie's kind of looking like they kind of suck.
Well, I don't know if they're looking like they kind of suck, but they just think they. Sometimes you need to listen to other people, and I don't know if PlayStation it was a wise move buying them and putting them in charge of all of their live service. We were the
No,
live service experts. You really live service is kind of a crapshoot.
It really is. They should have just done an exclusivity deal and told them we need you to put Destiny 3 on Sony only.
Yeah. Then they wouldn't have been able to buy them. But at least only one good thing I guess about PlayStation buying them is like if they would have missed 45% of their revenue and they were still an independent, they probably would have shut down, they said.
I mean, now that Xbox has all of the FPS kings under their belt, Sony needs Bungie to make them an FPS.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Especially with the current IGN review of the newest Call of Duty campaign. Did you see that?
I've not. Is it good, bad?
4 out of 10 they gave it.
Really?
Yes, 4 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wasn't this by one of the off studios though, not the headliner? Call of Duty studio?
I don't remember which one. No, it was not. It was not Treyarch, so it was either Sledgehammer or Infinity Ward. I don't remember which one it was, but yeah, not. But this one's basically like. The funny thing is it doesn't even have a platinum trophy. It comes up as like DLC for Modern Warfare 2, so people are really pissed off. A 4 out of 10 is really bad.
I thought I saw a preview for Zombies for it, and that looked kind of interesting, actually.
It's open world. The Zombies community, too, is... Okay, so here we go. The campaign review. Underbaked, rehashed, and cobbled together from multiplayer parts. Modern Warfare 3 single-player campaign is everything a Call of Duty story shouldn't be. So I guess they said it feels like a half-assed multiplayer mode with just cutscenes in it, basically.
Oh, that sucks.
But
one of my favorite things about the Modern Warfare games is the storylines.
They have been really hit or miss on the Zombies in the Zombies community. Like, there's different people like different stuff. This is going to be like... I don't think that they're really thrilled with this one, too, because you know what the DMZ is? Like, I don't know if it's like an extraction. You jump down to get a whole bunch of stuff and extract. Basically, I believe from what I've seen, it's something similar to that with Zombies, though.
Holy shit. Campaign is just 3 to 4 hours long.
Yeah. And people like the wave-based, round zombies where there's different secrets and all this other stuff. So
yeah, that's the zombies I played. That's the zombies I enjoyed.
This is more like an open world, big open map zombie where there's different teams. You drop down, you complete a couple of objectives, and then you got to extract or something like that. I feel like this game is kind of like was kind of thrown together. Basically, a lot of the stuff seems like, and it's like an off year, and the next year is supposed to be the big year. I think next year is Treyarch, so we'll see.
It will probably be a something new too.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called. It's a Black Ops spin out. I forgot.
Because if this
Golf Ops
is
or something.
this is the Modern Warfare they're leaving us off on, they're not going to continue this.
Yeah, no. Let's see. What is
Man, what a game for Xbox to acquire.
I know, right? The first year they get the 4 out of 10. It's good. Yep. I know people were joking about like, oh yeah, that they acquired him and all of a
Bobby
sudden Call of
Kotick was
Duty's
like, "Fuck it,
yeah,
it don't matter."
Oh, it's the Golf 24 takes place during the Gulf War, so I think that's going to be actually really good.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Yeah, so that's the one to look forward to. But yeah, this one not so hot supposedly.
Well, hopefully. Here's the problem I've had with the Call of Duty games. I always wanted to play all of them in all the campaigns, right?
Yeah.
I'm not so much into the multiplayer, but the campaigns I always thought were really cool. The problem is that Activision knows that these games make money. So like Nintendo, they never drop down into a relatively good price for me to pick them up at.
No.
So hopefully Xbox generally puts their games for dirt cheap after a while. Hopefully I could pick these games up on Steam and play through some of the campaigns that I've been missing. Because I've heard that like Ghosts had a really good campaign that I missed out on because that game is always too expensive.
I don't remember. I think that was the first one on Xbox One, PS4, and I think that was like really poorly reviewed. I don't remember.
People didn't like the
multiplayer, maybe.
Yeah, I think that was it because a lot of people seem to love the storyline in that one.
Okay.
Remember that one had the fish. If you swim towards the fish,
that's
the
right.
fish swim away from you. The fish AI.
That's funny. So this week, and this is a rumor that I've heard before, but it came from one of Spain's biggest gaming sites says that God of War Ragnarok DLC will be unveiled in the next 2 months.
As long as this is the DLC where you play as the kid and they don't make a full game of you playing as the kid, I will be ecstatic.
I feel like it's got to be that, like,
because you cannot do a mainline entry God of War where you play as
Kratos. No, I don't think so.
Boy God of War.
Oh, okay, yeah. From what it sounds like is it's going to be like a smaller like Miles Morales standalone thing. So like maybe like a 10-hour Atreus campaign or something like that.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Just don't make a full entry of me playing as that annoying ass kid.
If you had to bet, would you bet that it's going to be Atreus or a Kratos DLC?
Atreus.
Yeah, I think
100%.
So too. Yeah, I think so. I totally, yeah.
Him and his girlfriend.
Right. Yeah.
Where are they going to go?
And they left. They went somewhere. So if that does happen, that's pretty exciting. I would like to play that.
Yeah, I would play it. Just like I said, if it was a full-size game, though, I would not enjoy it.
No, dude, get us like a 10-hour campaign for like $50. I'm in.
The playing as him in the short spurts, that was fine, but he's still like nails on a chalkboard to me. He gets to me.
I've been thinking about going back and playing and beating the original, the first one, 2018.
The PlayStation 2 one?
No, I mean the 2018 one. I'm sorry, not the original.
Yeah, I know what you were saying.
You know what they really need to do is remake those. But I think they're ashamed of those games now because it's toxic masculinity.
And it has tits and sex.
Yeah, 100%. So I feel like they're like ashamed of that, which is fucking stupid.
It's why they leave them on the
PS3
online service where you could only stream it.
Right.
Which I tried streaming it and I couldn't get past a part because of lag.
I guarantee
in the very beginning.
If they remade those, they'd have to fucking pull the dumb Konami bullshit. Like this game was, may offend some people. It was made in a different time.
Fine, go ahead and do that, but do that simple remaster where you just put a little bit of varnish on there, slap that warning on there, and then release it on PS5 and PC, and I'll buy it again.
Because that God of War 3 remaster on PS4 is fucking amazing. That game plays great. Have you even played God of War 3?
A little bit,
Oh
and I've
man,
been wanting to
it's
get
so
that
fucking
game.
good.
It's always dirt cheap, but I'm like, I beat God of War 1 on the PlayStation 2, and
Yeah.
I love that game. But I never bought God of War 2, so I never beat that one,
Ah,
and that's what's keeping me from buying God of War 3.
gotcha.
Even though I played 2018 and Ragnarok
Yeah, I mean,
and beat both
you
of
really
those.
don't need to know any of those other ones though. You need to know the basics of it, really.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I should get that next time it's on sale. It's always it always goes on sale for dirt cheap.
It does, yeah. I think I bought it for really cheap. It's the combat in that game is fucking great. I love it.
All of them.
Yeah.
Great in all of them.
Oh, they're great in all of them. Yeah, I think that's probably their best franchise in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. It would always get me to come back.
Right.
That and Days Gone.
Did you see? This was yesterday. Microsoft employees lost. We're about to lose their Game Pass
Yes, this was
Ultimate,
the other news, and they're crying like little babies.
and they reversed it now.
Did they?
Yeah, it just broke like an
Oh,
hour or
fuck
two
that!
ago.
I need to get a
Yeah,
part-time job at Microsoft.
I know, right? And it was just going to be the people that worked for Microsoft and not Xbox that were going to lose their
Right,
Game
like
Pass.
the Windows division. Why are
Yeah.
you getting free Game Pass when
Right,
you make the Notepad application?
right.
You should have to pay for it like the rest of us.
That's hilarious.
Guarantee you that most of those employees don't even use it. They probably hand it off to somebody.
Right, Man, I wish you would have just got a job at Microsoft. You don't get it's impossible to get fired and you get free Game Pass.
Yeah. And if you work in the Xbox division, they always give you like
Yeah.
those day one editions. Though was it three? No, wait, which one was it? Was it the 360 that they gave out with like people's names on them?
I don't remember
I don't.
that.
I don't remember either.
I
And they
had,
were like a different color. If you pick up one now, it's going for a pretty penny.
I had the day one Xbox One edition.
Well, yeah, I had that one too. But I'm talking about they internal employees got their own systems in boxes with their names and stuff on them.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Man, company benefits.
Yeah, dude, seriously. I get some shirts. My company. That's about it.
I got a 5-year anniversary pin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't even know where it is. No.
What else? Industry analyst Serkan Toto. Talks a lot about Nintendo
God bless you.
stuff. Yeah, right. He talks about a lot of Nintendo stuff. Has hinted at a Zelda remake by the end of the year being announced.
You know what needs to be? And I was just, I don't know if I saw this exact article, but I saw somebody talking about it. It needs to be the Four Swords.
Really? That's an oddball one.
Well, think about multiplayer.
Oh, yeah,
Nintendo doesn't have as many online games as they should to justify this online service. So multiplayer, couch co-op.
Honestly, you're kind of wrong about that. They have more online games than I would say. Well, 100% they have more online games than PlayStation, and I would say Xbox as well. Basically, I mean, you think about every game they have almost all of their games have online multiplayer. You look at all of the sports games, online multiplayer, the Mario Party games, Smash, Mario Kart, Mario Maker. The new Mario has online multiplayer. I don't think Pikmin does. Let's see what else. Dude, a lot of their stuff that they come out with has online multiplayer. Splatoon. How am I missing all the Splatoon games?
All right. You're right. I'm on my mind when I brought that up was no online multiplayer for Zelda. And I think I was thinking Pikmin 2.
That's a great idea, though. Like, dude, they should not remake. They should do that.
Or
should be the
Swords,
next
but
like
in-
F099 type game, like an NSO game they give for free.
Oh, that would be cool too.
You know,
But no, Four Swords with in the engine where they remade that. What the hell's that Link game with the top-down view?
oh, Link's Awakening
Came out a few. Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
The Game Boy one, the Game Boy sequel.
right?
Yeah, do it in that, but 4 players. Oh hell yeah, I'd be all about that.
That's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. I was thinking more of more that was going to be like an Ocarina of Time remake.
Do you really think they would do that? I mean, they've never.
I don't know, maybe,
They they,
or he's got
they
his,
barely touched it. I mean, they did it for the 3DS,
or he's got
but
his like
they
swords or his like his wires crossed, and it's just the remaster of the Wind Waker Twilight Princess double pack that came out on Wii U because that still hasn't come out.
that needs to come out too. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
which I
But
could
they don't
totally
have to
see.
do that much to that.
No, I'm just saying. I think that that's what he could be hinting at instead of like a full on remake. Because eventually that's coming.
Or what about any of the 2 God damn it, 2DS ones, uh, Spirit Tracks and whatnot.
Oh, I hated Spirit Tracks. I did like Phantom Hourglass though.
I did not play either one of
I
those.
beat Phantom Hourglass. I liked it, but those are
But we have no way of playing those anymore because of the dual screens.
right, and I don't know how you. I mean, I'm sure they could figure out a way because those used all touch controls with the touch screen, really, unless you're gonna play them handheld only.
Gyro controls, man.
Yeah, but you got to write stuff on there. Like you have to write stuff on like draw emblems on the screen and stuff like that. There's some wild shit on there you have to do.
And now we're back to my original argument that it should be the Four Swords.
There you go. I agree with you.
All right. News, you heard it here first. Nintendo is remaking the Four Swords.
That's all I got for news for the week. You got anything else? Oh,
No, you brought up the news that I was going to bring up.
oh, big PS Plus games for the month. Did you hear about those?
I saw them. I saw your video where you weren't too impressed by them, and I think they're okay. That Aliens Fire Team Elite is pretty good.
They're okay. Yeah, you know what? I went. I kind of went back. I think they're okay. It's not nothing that I'm probably going to jump out and play. But
It should have been Mafia 3 and not Mafia 2, in my opinion.
I've never played any of the Mafia games.
Mafia 3 is really good, I think. It seems a lot of people didn't like it, though, and it did not sell very well, so Mafia is now dead. But I really enjoyed the hell out of Mafia 3.
The Alien game is something I might give a shot to. I'm not a huge Alien franchise fan though, so it didn't jump.
What
out
is
to me.
wrong with you?
I don't know. It's just something I missed out on.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
But you have PS Plus, and your kid has PS Plus. It's online co-op. It's basically Left 4 Dead but aliens.
Right. Yeah. Which I'd have to see. I'd have to check out the rating first to see if I want to play that with him.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Is it appropriate for a 10-year-old?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Probably no less than what he's playing now.
I mean, you beat up people in Spider-Man.
Yeah, you do. You are a vigilante.
This is mature,
Okay.
violent, strong language, blood and gore.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Try to think, because you shoot the aliens and they just have like green blood.
Maybe, yeah.
But maybe you do more than shoot aliens. Who knows? I didn't make it that far in the game.
Oh, you've actually played it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was on Game Pass.
Oh, all right. Oh,
Oh, it might be on Game Pass.
all those games go to Game Pass, the 4-player co-op games.
They do.
Yeah.
Gotham Knights is on Game Pass,
Yeah.
which is smart because you want games like that on Game Pass where you could download it and tell your buddy.
Right. Oh, hey, get Game Pass. Sign up for this. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not buying a full price game. It's something new for
Right.
you and your friends to play.
Totally.
Surprised it took this long to get Gotham Knights in there.
Speaking of playing, what did you play this week?
Not a lot of time spent playing, but I did play some more Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
and I'm slowly moving along in the DLC in that, which is awesome. And I'm gonna finish that game up. I gotta finish that game up.
Are you sure you're gonna finish it? Because you don't really finish games that you like.
I have to. I'm forcing myself to, because I did play a couple other games this week. I downloaded and started playing Dead Space.
Oh, nice. The remake, I hope, right?
The remake,
Okay.
and that's really good.
Yeah. Damn, I gotta.
Yeah, I only played about an hour, but it looks good. It feels good. It has the same, even better atmosphere than it originally did back on the 360 when I played it originally. And I mainly just downloaded that just to check it out because
Yeah.
it hit Game Pass, and I was like, oh, I got to see how this looks. And I downloaded it on my Xbox and my PC. It looks really freaking good on my PC. Xbox, it looks okay.
Yeah.
I don't have HDR turned on my TV because it's screwed up. But with HDR, it looks phenomenal.
Nice.
And I downloaded another Game Pass game today and tried it for about an hour or so, and I thought I was liking it, but then I started to hit some jank, and I was like, I might have to wait for this game to get updated. Started playing Jusant.
Oh, I heard some good things about that.
I want to say good things about it, but I'm gonna have to hold off on it because the jank I hit, I fell, and then I got stuck, and then I fell again, and then I was like in the world, and I'm like, well, fuck, I'm screwed. I don't know where it's gonna hit me if I back out the game and log back in. Am I going to be stuck forever? So I just quit playing, see if they patch it or whatnot, because it was stuttering a little bit on PC. But it's a cool climbing game. I enjoyed what little I played until it broke on me, and it's by Don't Nod.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then finally, the last game I've been playing, which has been my Steam Deck game for the week, meaning I just play it in bed a little bit before bed, is Ys 8.
Ys?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Ys games. Have you ever played any of them?
I have not.
They are action RPGs.
Okay.
And Ys 8, I'm not even going to try to say this. Lacrimosa of Dana is the subtitle. I don't know. It's just
mouthful.
yeah, it's just a action RPG, and it's a lot of fun. You get shipwrecked on an island, and you got to go find survivors and bring them back to a settlement you're building. And you do action RPG things. You'd swap between characters on the fly. It's cool. It's a little bit older. It looks good on the Steam Deck.
Runs good?
Yeah.
Nice.
Runs really good. Yeah, I skipped that one. There's some in between this one and the last one I played, but this was the only one that had a little green check mark next to the Steam Deck compatibility, and I don't feel
verified.
like messing with the yellow check mark, which generally means that you could play it, but you have to do something. Either use the on-screen keyboard, which is okay, or you got to set up the graphic settings yourself, generally, is what the yellow check mark means. I just didn't feel like doing any of that. And the games are always standalone. They don't directly continue into each other besides Ys 1 and 2.
All right.
It's a good game.
Cool. Nice.
It's on PlayStation 4.
All right.
It goes on sale. You should check it out.
I probably won't, but it's good to know.
Yeah, you never listen to any of my recommendations. Speaking of which, that will be my recommended game of the week.
Nice.
There is some other news, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, Remnant 2 is getting DLC.
Okay.
It looks really good.
You liked Remnant 2. Did you beat Remnant 2 yet or no?
I did. I beat Remnant 2, and I've been dying to go back to it. But it's more fun co-op.
Oh, okay.
And my co-op partners have been busy playing other things as of late, so no Remnant for me. And just announced today at BlizzCon, Diablo 4 is getting DLC.
All right.
But we already knew that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a live service game.
Yeah, and I'm not excited at all for that.
Is it paid DLC or is it?
It probably is. I just watched the trailer for it, and it was just cinematic. And what I found surprising about it is the game just came out, 2 months ago?
No, it didn't
and
come
you
out
usually
this summer,
don't.
Right? Didn't so like 4 months ago?
No, it came out in like August.
Did it August? I thought it was July.
I don't remember when it came out.
Okay, 2 or 3
you got
months
me
ago.
questioning myself.
I actually
Yeah,
thought
it just seems soon for a DLC announcement to me, doesn't it?
Yeah, if it's about
Usually
3
it's
months,
6 months.
maybe. But I don't like playing the DLCs like a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years later.
Oh, it came out in June 5th. Wow.
Yeah, see, we're off.
Long time.
Yeah, it was a while ago. June, July, August, September, October, 5 months ago.
Okay, so maybe it's about right.
That's
Maybe
yeah, like
it's just
6 months.
I
Yeah, almost 5 months. So
fell off that game that hard that I am unimpressed by the DLC.
oh man,
Man, Diablo 4 is such a bummer.
good thing Microsoft bought all them. Call of Duty and Diablo. Whew.
Well, that's the thing about games as a service, though.
Yeah,
You could always
you
turn
can always make
around
a
and fix them.
comeback. You can. You can.
And Diablo should be easy to fix. You know what to fix. You know what's wrong with it.
Right.
Which I did play it last week, maybe the week before, because they had a big patch where they said they fixed a bunch of stuff, and I went in there and I'm like, this feels the same. This still feels like garbage.
Oh man, bummer. They need to get rid of that always online connection, man.
They do. The game is Steam Deck verified, though.
I think it was one of the top games played on Steam last month. The Steam
Yeah,
Deck. I mean,
a lot
Steam
of people
Deck.
bought it,
Yeah.
and it was on the top of the sales charts for quite a while.
Wonder if they're gonna have like top games played on PlayStation Portal every month.
Why would you?
Diablo would be a Diablo 4 would probably be a great PlayStation Portal game. A great PlayStation Portal.
Why do you keep saying that? It doesn't matter. It's a peripheral. It's not a
it does.
device that's playing the game itself.
Because it's the experience of playing it on a handheld. It's the same thing.
You're gonna be playing it on your shitter.
It's the same thing. It's gonna be great.
You're just on your shitter and not in front of your TV.
Plays great on.
That's the only difference.
I want to see a little check mark in the PlayStation Store that says plays great on Portal.
It's the same thing as playing it on your TV, just tiny.
Portal verified.
and not. What's the max screen resolution? 720p, 900p.
No, it's 1080, not like 800 like on the Steam Deck. It's higher.
You're still streaming from your PS5. It's not like
it's gonna look,
the thing is not running anything.
It's gonna look better than on the Steam Deck.
You're crazy, man.
Because it's running from the PS5, not on a Steam Deck.
Well, yeah.
Great on Portal.
I could buy a screen that's made for the Steam Deck, install it. I believe it was 1080p that I saw the video for, and then run the stuff from my PC to my Steam Deck, and I'd be getting the same damn thing.
Well,
actually, better because I could play the games at Ultra on my PC.
Well, I don't know why you don't do that then.
No, I'm not buying that screen.
Is that all you've been playing this week?
That is all I've been playing. I really want to play that RoboCop. I'm hearing
me too.
Excellent things about RoboCop.
All right, now it's time for our controversial topic of the week.
I don't have anything. What's the topic this week?
Well, you know how you went on a rant saying how you hate women and POCs last week.
I never said that. Why are you trying to get me in trouble?
If you check out the screen right now, I am playing the controversial, as you called it, mission on Spider-Man last week that you thought didn't belong in the game because you don't like.
No,
those
I was
people.
just questioning why is it in the game?
Well,
what does it have to do with being Spider-Man?
This person is the love interest of Miles Morales.
Okay.
And actually, the mission is actually really cool. And it lasts.
Okay.
It's an.
I'm not doubting that.
It's an
just
optional mission that is 5-10 minutes long. Maybe it brings awareness of what it's like, maybe to be a deaf person.
They have a game for that, and it sold very, very poorly and has very bad reviews.
So they put it in a really popular game so more people might experience what it's like to be a deaf person.
There you go.
What if your niece, 10, 15 years down the line is like, I was playing this Spider-Man 2 game and it made me, really, I was so excited to play as this deaf girl and I was like, oh, your uncle, he hates that part of the mission. He didn't like it. He didn't play it. He thought it was terrible.
How can I say I hate it?
He said it was terrible and didn't belong in the game.
All I said was
it didn't belong in the game. So
I go to a Spider-Man to play as Spider-Man, not Not anybody else.
He said
Not
it
Mary
didn't belong in
Jane,
the
not
game.
this
So,
girl.
honey, I'm sorry. Your uncle thinks your opinion is stupid and doesn't belong in the game because you're a girl and he doesn't like women. So, um, but no, actually, the mission is pretty neat. Like if you play with headphones on, all you hear is like maybe that's what deaf people hear depending on what I don't know, but like no, it was actually really cool. You don't hear anything. You hear just like kind of going, and I was like, oh man, this is different. It's a different, kind of like plays your senses. And you shake the dual sense to shake the can of paint, and you feel the haptics. It feels like the little ball in the paint can is in your controller. And I don't know, I thought it was a neat mission. If there was an hour of it, I would probably be annoyed at it. I'd definitely be annoyed at it. But since it was like a 5 to 7 minute mission that's optional, I was like, oh, that's pretty neat.
Well, and sir, it sounds like you should play The Quiet Man.
No, because like I said, 5 to 7 minutes. That's really neat. One time. And also, I'm going to say the Mary Jane missions are cool. I like them. Okay.
That's fine.
And my kid liked
I
them.
might like them too.
And Mary Jane is a central character in the Spider-Man universe.
Did you like the Mary Janes in the first game?
These are better. I did not. These are better.
Okay, so they improved them. But still, a lot of people don't want.
Well, there's a lot of
bigot.
There's a lot of sex. There's a lot of sexist, bigoted people in the world.
Okay, so you just called all your viewers sexist, bigoted pigs.
No, I mean, yeah, I could see people didn't like. I thought they were much improved. They were really good in this game, and it was a change of pace.
Buying
all
Batman
these games,
game and not playing as Batman.
Every game does something similar to this, where they give you a different type of gameplay scenario to change the pace a little bit.
Every game now does, yes, because that's an Ubisoft
everybody
thing.
Did that too. Halo did it, where they had a mission where you drove the whole tank through the whole, or where you had to.
Well, you could still hop out and shoot as Master Chief.
Or they had missions where you were just like the end of all those Halo games, where you were driving the Warthog out of the base or whatever as it's blowing up or whatever.
You were never playing as one of those Marines that you could just bop in the back of the head and instantly kill as Master Chief. You never played as one of those.
No, but it's a different gameplay scenario. It doesn't have to be...
You never played as the Sarge, even though that would be pretty cool to play as the Sarge.
Well, you did.
What was his name?
You did play as the Arbiter.
Yeah.
They gave you a different perspective for half of the game. That you played as the Arbiter, and then in Halo 5,
it really wasn't, because he played just like Master Chief.
Okay, but it was a different perspective.
Sure.
Almost all games do this, where they give you like some kind of dumb like thing that you do for a while just to break up the gameplay, is all I'm saying.
No, not all games do this.
A lot of games do this. A lot.
Sure. But a lot of Ubisoft games do it.
No. What Ubisoft games do this? You cannot think of them.
Well, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, okay, Assassin's Creed. Name me another one.
I don't know. Does anything like that happen in Far Cry? I don't think so in Far Cry.
Right. Or like any game that'll have like a mission where you're just on a turret shooting instead of like, first person mission. Like Call of Duty
would generally have still in control of the character that you started the game as in those instances.
Okay, Metal Gear Solid 2, you switched a whole different character halfway through the game.
A lot of people didn't like that.
I am just saying.
Like and you run butt naked for a good portion of that too.
Why are you arguing this point with me? It's just a different. They're telling a story and having you play as a different character just to switch up gameplay.
No, that's fine, and it's fine that it's side content too. The Mary Jane stuff probably should be side content too, in my opinion.
I know, but it fits with where the story goes, basically.
Okay, sure. I'll eventually get it, and I'll eventually play it when the game goes on sale.
You're just bigoted, and you don't like women.
No, I love women, and I'm not bigoted.
You hate them. Fucking hate women. They don't belong in video games, is what you're saying, right?
Yes, every video game should be all men all the time, and all romances in video games should be gay since it's all men all the time.
uh, but I did finish Spider-Man 2. I absolutely loved it. Combat
You're
was
gonna platinum it?
amazing. Yeah, I'm like 89% done now with it. I beat it at 25 hours, and I don't know. I played a couple more hours. I'm like 89% with it. So about 30 to 32 hours will probably be a platinum range. So that's a really good, I think, time to platinum.
Okay.
And yeah, see what happens. What I do, go finish Assassin's Creed next, and then probably on to maybe Cyberpunk.
So did this Spider-Man 2 kind of carry over the Miles Morales thing of the neon at night look?
I
Because
didn't
that made that
really
game
pay
visually.
attention to that, if it did or not. Uh, I don't think so because things happen in the story that, uh, yeah, things happen in the story. Needless to say,
Okay, no spoilers. This is not the
right,
Fusion spoiler cast.
right, no.
People are still playing this
But
game.
I would, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't play through Miles Morales and before you play this one though. You're
The game has
gonna
been
be really
on
lost.
sale.
But I will say that there is some stuff they tease what could happen, what is going to happen at part 3, and one of the stingers at the end has me slightly worried about the direction they're going to go for 3.
Wolverine shows up.
No, it's not anything that it's not good.
No, I wasn't gonna. I'm trying. We're not gonna do any spoilers. I was just throwing something out there. So
No.
maybe you could text me it later so we don't spoil it on the podcast.
I can tell you off air when we get off air, but yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll get into detail. Yeah, I'm not. They could. I don't know why they would tease this if this wasn't the direction that they were going to take, though. But also the way they
games
also
as a service.
no, I'm talking about the story basically. Like one of the
Yeah, I
well,
know.
the first stinger seems like they would go one way with the story, but the second stinger seems like they could go another way with the story, and I'm like, oh, why would you tease that if you're not gonna? What are you gonna do here? So yeah, I'm worried, but I'm really excited for Wolverine. My kid beat it too. He absolutely loved it, and he doesn't really beat video games. He plays Fortnite, and that's really mostly it. But he has beaten both. He's not beaten the original Spider-Man. He's beaten Miles Morales in this one. So
All right.
yeah,
I'm
that's
excited
that.
for Wolverine too.
I am. Yeah, they hopefully. Would you say open world or non-open world, linear? What would you do?
I'm actually almost hoping for a linear game
Yeah.
at this point. I'm kind of tired of the open world games.
Yeah.
Too much to do, especially after Cyberpunk.
And Gotham Knights, all that time you put into Gotham Knights too.
Oh yeah, I could tell you exactly how much time I put into Gotham Knights. 'Cause Steam keeps track of that stuff.
Anything else for this week? Or are we good to go?
I think we're good to go. Although I think it's not going to happen because it's a Activision game. They need to re-release that PS3, Xbox 360 Wolverine game.
Oh yeah, that's
I only
probably
played a
not gonna
demo
happen.
of it, and it was a lot of fun. I never got to play the full game.
You know that's not going to happen with that. I don't think if PlayStation is going to be like, why don't you not do that? Because that's going to cause confusion, and that's going to,
Exactly.
really
But
sour. That could leave like a
that
bad
demo was
taste.
really good. And now that we're talking about Wolverine, I'm thinking, man, I wish I'd played that. Maybe I'll see if I can't find it on the cheap for Xbox.
They would
360. I
they
still
would
got my
100%
stuff.
convince Marvel that like that would do harm to their game, the new game, which they're going to make the most money off of. So maybe after Wolverine comes out.
Yeah, it's licensed. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, they need to get the Transformers games though.
For sure, but that's probably not going to happen either.
Yeah, probably not.
I have 49 hours in Gotham Knights.
Oh God, jeez. You're crazy.
Yeah, probably got to put another 5 hours into it
Oh
to
my
get those
God.
last achievements.
You are so fucked up in the head.
Just sometimes on Fridays.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us this week. We will see you guys next Thursday and or Friday for Rebel Blood for Fusion 64.
You want to be me? You can't walk a day in my shoes.
For Rebel Blood 80, I'm your host, Fusion 64. See you guys next week.
Adios.